What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. On Peacock, which afterwards, WWE had this documentary that they was coming out with a couple years ago. I want to say in 2021, called Superfan, the story of Vladimir. For those who don't know who Vladimir is, and I'm going to say, if anybody has watched wrestling in the 90s, has seen this guy. If you look him up, you see him because he's a fan that's always in the front row. And if you guys know the wrestling shows now, you know they got their super fans. There's the people that you see every event that they like right there in the front row. And remember I don't know if Prime remembers this, but remember ECW? They had the hat guy, the straw hat guy, that was always there. Well, Vlad was this guy that was sitting there with a tank top and glasses, and he was always there in the front row. And even back in the 80s, when Roddy Piper was asking who his partner should be to go up against in Madison Square Garden, because he's from New York, to go in his tag team matchup. Oh God, was it Paul Orndorff or was it? I forgot who it was. And the guy came up there and it was like, it's Vladimir. But he didn't know who his name was, and he was just like Hulk Hogan, and he's a huge Hogan fan. I'm not judging him over there. I'm just saying, but huge Hogan fan. And I was watching the It's only 37 minutes long. It's not even a long ass documentary. It was only 37 minutes long, but I thought they was going to release it, and they just took it down, and they told me it was going to be scrapped, and now all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere, the blue on Peacock. And it just came out, and I had to say, it was one of the best ones they did this year about this guy. And it showed how all the wrestlers know him, how he was going, he goes, like, he is just so well versed in this thing. And then one thing he has is, he is a 60-some-year-old man that when he watches wrestling, he turns back into another kid again. That's one thing. I don't know if y'all agree with this or not, but that's one thing I think that's missing in wrestling now. Like, just to ask a question, would y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying because
so.
It's like everything got to be so matter of factly, like just to be enjoy wrestling for what it is, not to get so caught up into all the backstage or the serious show. Just like I love to enjoy wrestling, and this is what it is, and I get caught up in the characters, and I guess they're ignorant to say the magic of it as what it is. Well, this is what this guy still has. I don't know where he works. I don't know how he get on the front row. How he gets all the front row seats and all that, but just seeing him and they showed the pictures of it, and then they talked about how he wasn't doing too well, and everybody kept thinking he was Russian because his name is Vladimir, but he's from Haiti.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, I didn't want to assume, but yeah, he was from Haiti, and his family and his mother, who he loves dearly, and the unfortunate thing was, during COVID, his mom passed away. She hurt her hip, and she had to go into this nursing home. And the nursing homes was a COVID vat. Like COVID just lived in the nursing homes. And unfortunately, she was one of those victims of COVID. And he was very hurt by this, and he tried to commit suicide 3 times. And he said he's going to a therapist to working it out, but he needs to get back to a show of wrestling. And it was showing his journey there when they finally opened it up to 20-something thousand fans for WrestleMania 37, and how he was there and hugging up with all the guys all backstage and everything like that. I said, damn, I wish I had the time and energy and the money to be a super fan like that. I would love it. And how Triple H and Stephanie gave him the first Superfan award, which is like the WWE Championship belt, like in a plaque type thing. So I was like, okay, I mean, the award. I said the award is good. He's well deserving. But if any of y'all have time to go check that thing out, or like I said, or if you just type in his name and you've seen before, like, hey, this is the guy. His documentary finally came out, and I thought, for like I said, for only 37 minutes, it's a short watch. They covered a lot of stuff. I think it's really interesting. And I'm glad that they finally re-released it, because I do not like when they have content and they just cancel the whole thing out.